Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of r/ProRevenge. In today's episode, steal my security deposit and ignore me for a year? Say goodbye to your staff and reputation. Update and conclusion: steal my security deposit and ignore me for a year? Say goodbye to your staff and reputation. Final update: steal my security deposit and ignore me for a year? Say goodbye to your staff and reputation. Before we get started, make sure to subscribe so you will never miss a video. So let's get started. Steal my security deposit and ignore me for a year? Say goodbye to your staff and reputation. So, background. Around Thanksgiving 2017, my wife's company offered her a fantastic promotion, which she accepted even though it meant moving across the state by January 1st. The month of December was insanity: list and sell the house, find a short-term rental which would accept 4 pets, pack, move, etc. A lot of whiskey magically disappeared, but I got it all done, and we moved into our rental house and all was well. We bought our new home and moved, and the rental lease officially ended on April 1st. The property manager followed the state laws correctly so far, and we were told we'd get the $1,800 owed for our security deposit back by May. Spoiler alert, it never came. I spent the next 4 months going back and forth with the property manager and hearing it's coming, we never got your paperwork, blah blah. I got sick of this and got 2 different lawyers involved and sent them official demand letters. I also filed a formal complaint with the State Division of Real Estate against their license. The PM kept telling the state investigators that they would pay us back, but nothing ever happened. I didn't want to formally sue via our lawyer, because he charges $300 per hour and it's all upfront. I was hesitant to go to small claims court because it's a $5,000 max in our state, and the damages were legally owed or 3x the $1,800 deposit, which puts us over that cap, so I'd have to give up on some of the damages we're legally entitled to seek, eat roughly $500 total in fees, and then go through that whole process for the next year, and assuming we won the judgment, then go through the collection process for another year or 2. An option, one we'd win, but a big pain in my ass. So this is where the ProRevenge comes in. It was initially petty. Say their website is shittypropertymanager.com. I bought shittypropertymanager.co for $12 and posted all of my screenshots and info about their theft and bullshit for the world to see. And then I bombed it all over their business Facebook pages, as well as the personal pages for the main partners and their Yelp page. I got a kick out of it. They took their pages down. Petty revenge wins, right? My little website caused a bigger boom than I anticipated. Basically, this PM has 2 principal agents in charge and a broker. One of the agents is married to the broker. Beneath them, they had 5 realtors. I sent my new website to them all, everywhere I could. Turns out the partner who isn't married to the broker had no idea that the broker and his wife were stealing money from the PM company. Their realtors had no idea. Either 2 of them quit immediately, and one reached out to me to let me know why she quit and that she was going to a new broker. But the other principal of the company was mortified. She asked me to leave her name out of it, take the stuff down, etc., and I just politely but coldly replied that hey, your business partner/broker stole my money and I can back everything I'm saying with documents, not my problem. She promised she'd get things resolved, and for the first time in 10 months, the broker started answering my emails. We worked out a deal, and they're now paying us $200 per month until December, which will cover the amount owed plus the extra for our legal fees. The first check came last week. It actually bounced, but I made them send me a cashier's check, and they have to send cashier's checks going forward, so we did get our first installment. I've also learned that the state investigation has been turned over to the state's legal department, and the broker and his wife will likely lose their license. The state investigators said they had multiple complaints against them, but I was the most thorough and had the most documentation against them, so our complaint was a big reason they had the ammo to push it to the legal team. So all told, my shitty little website ended up costing them 40% of their real estate team, resulted in them removing their business FB listings, pushed the investigation into their license over to a state legal team, still ongoing, and resulted in them having to finally start paying us not only the $1,800 we're owed but the legal fees I spent on top of it. Oh, and that bounced check? I made them send me a certified check for $12 to cover the bank fee for that too. Update and conclusion: steal my security deposit and ignore me for a year? Say goodbye to your staff and reputation. Then October hits. They don't send a certified check, but since they'd been good all year, and we were nearing the end, I deposited it. It shouldn't be a shock that it bounced, so I emailed them to get this fixed. The property manager says sorry, I goofed, since we only owe you $600, I'll send you one check now for $312, half plus the bounce check fee, and the rest in December. I agree. Weeks pass, nothing. So I reach back out in early December and finally get a check, but it's only for $200. I was fed up with their games and with this bullshit hitting almost the 2-year mark, so I stuck to the deadline and said I expected the remaining $412 by December 15th. The 15th comes and goes, so I email again on the 16th, and what do you know? Radio silence. Totally ignored. So I waited until the 23rd, right before Christmas, and just sent them a short email saying exactly that the website was going back up and I'd resume legal actions since they decided not to honor our new written agreement. The partner who got the repayment process started in the first place finally had enough and snapped and said she couldn't deal with this over Christmas, and that she'd repay me herself to be done with this. I received our final check for $412 today. After 2 years of this bullshit, it's finally over, and I have all of our security deposit returned plus some to cover my legal fees and certified mail costs. The total fallout on their end, 3 of their 5 realtors ended up leaving based on my website. They had to repay me everything they owed, and I didn't let them off the hook, and I just used the state tool to look up their real estate license, and the license hearing did not go their way, and their license is on probation with 11 complaints filed against it, which will all require repayment and remediation, with the most recent complaint being an internal administrative complaint based on my actions, which will likely result in them losing their license altogether in 2020, although that's just an assumption, but a likely one since the administrative complaint is the most recent and is wholly open. Final update: steal my security deposit and ignore me for a year? Say goodbye to your staff and reputation. That's where I figured it would end in late 2019, with 11 open complaints on their license and the state just giving them slaps on the wrist. I figured it was as good as we could expect. Tonight I got curious and bored and hopped on the state license portal to see what had happened. When we left off in 2019, they had the 11 open complaints, 10 of which were from renters and 1 from the state itself. That was the one which had me curious. The state closed out my case and 9 others in June of 2019, which put their license on probation for a year, gave them courses to take, and some whopping fines which were basically nothing. I don't know how they fucked up, but the state complaint got taken higher and into this year, and as of July 2020, their license has been completely revoked. Not just the business license for XX real estate, but the personal license for the asshole who dicked me around too. I got my money back and they're out of business partly because of me? I will take it. As a bonus, here are some screenshots from the state portal. The larger blue image shows the list of all complaints on the license, and the final 2020 revocation. The smaller orange image is from the state's 2019 end-of-year license penalty report and just shows that the asshole property manager fucked over us and a lot of others and got their penalties for it. The license revocation will be included in the 2020 end-of-year report, I imagine. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share, and we will see you in the next video.